Won't be too much longer. Colours to watch out for here. We've got Almaguest, last year's winner, and the yellow with the blue stars. Former international show jumper Tim Gredley in the Gredley silk, settling towards the mid-pack as they jump away. Looks like they've been sent on the way here for the 348th running of the Newmarket Town Plate, and Chandler's Cross. And Lois Ann O'Hara goes off into the lead through the opening furlong. From Don't Be Fooled, wider out under 50-year-old Stephen Turner, getting a good tune out of Don't Be Fooled in the early part. Deadline Days behind those in the orange under Jane Willett, the galloping dentist, racing up there for a share of third place. Threepwood's behind those. Patrick Chester's, last year's third rider, settling down in a handy fourth through the opening quarter mile now, with back behind those Bivouac about 10 lengths behind the leading quartet. And then All We Know from San Siro, the Grey Bell Weir. Then Sturdy Dawn from Drive Home Regardless. And last year's winner Almaguest is out the back of the field very early on. Mr. Robinson is currently second to last as they cross over the path, and at the back of the field is So Valentino under Ian Galt, who's having his second ride in the Town Plate this afternoon. So they race off then towards the final 3 miles. We join the action from the drone camera, and we could see that Deadline Day has moved into the lead now. Deadline Day just in front by a length or so to Chandler's Cross as they continue on this part of the round course. They're racing about 4 lengths clear from the third positioned Threepwood. That one in turn clear from Bivouac, who was in fourth place, and Don't Be Fooled wasn't too far behind him when we saw the runners enter this part of the track as they race off down towards their final 2.5 miles. With the lead then, it's Deadline Day under Jane Willett. She shows by perhaps just about 2 lengths now to Chandler's Cross racing in second under Lois Ann O'Hara, with Threepwood back in third under Patrick Chester's, and they'll be joining the racecourse proper when they eventually get to it at about the 2 mile from home point in this 348th running of the Newmarket Town Plate. And the principals, as they have been from the outset, with the lead being held by Deadline Day just in front of Chandler's Cross, at about 5 lengths away then to Threepwood, who's showing back in third place. That one in turn clear from Sturdy Dawn and Bell Weir and Bivouac and Don't Be Fooled. Then Almaguest is moving up a little towards the inside as we saw them there. So Valentino still further back through the field, along with Drive Home Regardless, as they make their way towards the racecourse proper. Chandler's Cross and Deadline Day still the principal pair. They're racing about 5 lengths on from Threepwood, who's back in third position, who in turn is about 8 lengths clear from Don't Be Fooled and Stephen Turner in fourth place. And then Bell Weir and Keith Oakes, the grey, alongside Bivouac and Tim Gredley. Only a length back and moving up on the inside is All We Know in maroon and white under Robert Stoneman. And then San Siro and Sharon Furman, Almaguest and Sheikh Fahed Al Thani. A further 2 lengths away then to Drive Home Regardless. Behind that one is Mr. Robinson. Bell Weir losing a bit of ground. Mr. Robinson, the mount here of Rebecca Robinson, having her second ride in the Town Plate. Sturdy Dawn has lost a bit of ground under Gemma Mathers, and the back marker So Valentino under Ian Gold. So they're back on the racecourse proper and racing on inside the final 2 miles of the Town Plate. And it's Deadline Day and Chandler's Cross. Deadline Day and Jane Willett, Chandler's Cross and Lois Ann O'Hara who dispute the lead. As they continue over on the far side of the racecourse, All We Know is still chasing up the pace under Robert Stoneman. Then Mr. Robinson wider out there in the dark blue and grey silks under Rebecca Robinson. Bivouac taking closer order in the yellow under Tim Gredley. Been tracked by Bell Weir and Keith Oakes, and then about 4 or 5 lengths back to Sturdy Dawn. Threepwood has now lost a few positions. Almaguest is improved into about 7th or 8th now. Just ahead of that runner at the moment is Drive Home Regardless under Michael Molyneux. They race now towards the final 1.5 miles of the contest, and it's All We Know who leads the Town Plate field under Robert Stoneman, shows by a length to the improving Bivouac. Deeper out from him amongst horses Deadline Day and Jane Willett. 5 lengths away to Bell Weir and Keith Oakes racing in fourth. In fifth place then is Chandler's Cross and Lois Ann O'Hara. A further 4 lengths back to Don't Be Fooled. Then Almaguest, no hurry yet from last year's winner. Then Drive Home Regardless. A long gap back to find at Sturdy Dawn, who's about 5 or 6 lengths ahead of the others, with So Valentino trying to make some ground up towards the inside. San Siro's much further back through the field, as they work on inside the final mile and a quarter. Beginning to get themselves pretty well strung out now as Bivouac for the first time has moved to the lead. Bivouac under Tim Gredley, the former international show jumper, has picked it up here in the Town Plate. He leads by just under 2 lengths to All We Know in second place under Robert Stoneman. They've now put about 15 lengths or so between themselves and the third positioned Deadline Day under Jane Willett. Belweir back in 4th place and Keith Oakes. Almagest is next with Drive Home Regardless. They're in 4th and 5th positions, certainly making ground from way off the pace as So Valentino as they head inside the final 3 parts of a mile shortly. And it's Bivouac who has the lead. A little peek behind there to see Tim Gredley to find where the others are. All We Know just been bustled up now by Robert Stoneman. About 20 lengths away now to Almagest. Sheikh Fahad Al Thani now beginning to push along on that one to try and close in the gap on the front running pair who are still well ahead at the moment. To continue up the Bunbury Mile and towards the final 5 furlongs of the Town Plate. Bivouac with the lead. All We Know is keeping him company. Here comes Almagest now beginning to bear down on the front pair. Belweir's next in 4th. Then Don't Be Fooled from So Valentino and Drive Home Regardless. Further back to find Sturdy Dawn and Deadline Day. The rest are being eased off as they race now down towards the final 3 furlongs. And Bivouac has now a 6-length lead from All We Know in second place. Getting closer all the time though is Almagest. Now beginning to make his move towards the inside, but it's still Bivouac. Now he's just bumping along here, Tim Gredley. He's asking for a bit more here from Bivouac, who hit the front with about 1.25 miles to go. Still leading clearly from All We Know. Almagest moving up towards the stand side running rail to try and put in his effort, but he's unseated Sheikh Fahad. Almagest is unseated rider with 1/4 mile to go. So some drama here in the Town Plate. Bivouac now kept going in front by Tim Gredley. He leads by 8 lengths to All We Know, who's trying to find extra. They're an absolute mile clear from the third. That's Drive Home Regardless. And inside the final furlong, it's Bivouac under Tim Gredley, the former international show jumper. He's going to win the 348th running of the Newmarket Town Plate. Bivouac has won the Town Plate, has beaten All We Know. Home in third was Drive Home Regardless. And then Don't Be Fooled is going to cross the line in 4th from Belweir and Sturdy Dawn. And Deadline Day, Mr. Robinson. The rest are still coming, San Siro and Chandler's Cross, and then Threepwood. Hopefully, Sheikh Fahad will be up okay following that tumble from Almagest at 2 furlongs from home.
First, number 13, Bivouac. Second, number 12. Third, number 3. And the 4th placed horse, number 9. The full result of the 348th running of the Newmarket Town Plate. First, number 13, Bivouac. Second, number 12, All We Know. Third, number 3, Drive Home Regardless. And the 4th horse, number 9, Don't Be Fooled. The winning distances were 12 lengths and 30 lengths, 12 lengths and 30 lengths. The winning hand start time for the winning horse, 7 minutes, 2 seconds, 0.62 seconds. 7 minutes, 2.62 seconds.
Yeah, keep walking. Yeah. Keep going, you're fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 348th running of the Newmarket Town Plate has been won because of Team Bradley Investments Limited. Premier Newmarket by James Irving. Team Bradley, please welcome back your winner, Bivouac.
Keep going. Keep going, Matt.